Hi there, Pilates people. Here's a 30-minute or thereabouts session to get your body moving, lengthening through your spine, and feeling nice and warmed up for your day ahead. Starting in seated, take our legs out long. If you have a block or a firm cushion or stool seat that you can prop yourself up on, just sitting on top of that to get us warmed up, and allow your legs to hang heavy down towards the floor, just to take that gripping feeling away from the front of your hips, your quadriceps as well, and allow them just to hang and loosen. But sometimes when you're sitting flat to the floor, especially when we're trying to warm up, it's all psoas here, grouping, and the front of the thighs. So I want to just let that go, relaxing your shoulders as well. Taking a deep breath in through the diaphragm, feeling the rise and flare of the rib cage. Hold it at the top of the breath, and exhale, release the breath out, and just relax your body into the block. And again, breathing in through the nose, full breath intake into the diaphragm, and then slowly release the breath out and relax your body into this seated position. And one more. And from here, floating your arms up to shoulder height, breathing in, draw the shoulder blades towards each other, and just pull the chin in towards the back of the neck, so we're creating a long straight neck. Lifting up and in through your lower belly. Take a breath in, and to the left we twist, keeping the hips nice and squared up, sitting tall. The feet should stay still here as you twist through the spine, and back to centre. Inhale and exhale to the right, and inhale to centre and back to the left. We'll just do two more on each side here. You're taking notice of what's going on with your body here, feeling the lift through the lower abdominals, the pelvic floor, enjoying that rotation through your thoracic spine. Remember to keep reaching long through to the crown of the head as you push down gently through the sitting bones into the block. Taking your arms to the side now, breathing in, we'll come over to the right side into a modified mermaid stretch. So as you slide that right hand away, arcing the left arm up and over, grounding down once more through your sitting bones, relax that right shoulder. Now draw the left shoulder blade in towards the spine to help you open out through the chest. And if you can then, look into the inside of your right arm. Reach the fingertips away as you ground down through that left hip. And lower. And over to the other side, breathing in, arcing the right arm over, sliding the left arm away, anchor down through your right hip, relax the left shoulder. Draw your right shoulder blade towards the spine to open through the chest, looking to the inside of your arm and reaching the arm long as you lock down through the right hip there. Just watch that shoulder. I notice mine gripping up there, creating length all the way through the body. And lower. Bringing the arms forward, feet together, take a breath in and exhale, reaching forward, scoop the belly in and just let your body hang forward here. Taking a deep breath in and exhale, stacking up into seated, drawing the shoulder blades in towards each other, stacking the neck and the head and sitting tall. So taking the block away, and just feel that difference. If you've had the pleasure of sitting on that block, notice how flat you feel to the mat. It's such a great feeling. So a couple of dollars from most variety stores. I highly recommend you get one. So coming into seated now, sitting long way on the mat. Just going to do a bit of movement into some core positions and getting some length through the spine here. Relaxing the back of the legs and the hips into the mat, drawing the lower belly in and push down gently through the sitting bones as you reach up through to the crown of the head. So we're creating length all the way through the spine and activating our posterior chain of muscles here rather than gripping through the front of the legs. Floating your arms up to shoulder height, draw the shoulder blades back and just check that that chin's directed to the back of the neck, the length rather than this protrusion, which we're trying to avoid. And we're going to roll down. Take a breath in. On the exhale, tilting through your pelvis and lowering your spine one vertebra at a time towards the mat. Scooping up and in, keeping the shoulders and chest nice and open. And just let your gaze watch your fingers as they move up and over, reaching long and bringing your head to the mat. Big stretch here, extending from the toes to the fingertips and circling your arms down to the side. Bending your knees in and letting your ankles sit directly below your knees there, so we're stacking our joints. Knees are hip width apart and coming into some pelvic tilts. Relax the back of your arms, shoulders and head here down into the mat, the lower back as well, just to create a sense of grounding through the part of your body that's in touch with the mat. Taking a breath in and tilting your pelvis towards your feet. You're just getting a little lift of the lower back. And then as you exhale, tilting the pelvis in to flatten the spine into the mat. And tilting forward, breath in, and tilting back, breath out. So just finding your own rhythm here between movement and breath flow. And observing what's going on with your body. So we're working on this move being isolated to a subtle tilt through the hips. The legs should remain relatively still and passive, and the back of the arms, shoulders and head connecting down into the mat. So we're going to progress into a bridge from here. Breathe in, tilting forward. Breath out, tilting back, flatten the spine into the mat, and as you push the feet down, start to peel the spine up and away, rounding down through back of the shoulders and arms. Also press the wrist down. And holding at the top here, take a moment here just to feel what's going on with your body. So just making a little bit of adjustment to my feet there. So I'm grounding down through the heels, the soles of the feet, plugging in the toes, lifting up through the limbs, engaging the thighs and glutes, drawing the belly in. And now shuffle your shoulder blades in towards each other as close as which they comfortably go. Pushing down through the wrists, the backs of the arms, and gently push the head down as well. Take a breath in and exhale, rolling down with control through the core muscles, connecting each vertebra one at a time back to the mat. Coming back into a neutral position through your hips. Take a breath in and exhale, tilting and peeling out once more. Holding at the top, taking a breath in and exhale, rolling down. Nice and slowly. Just observing how your body weight is distributed from the feet up, making any adjustments if you find yourself favouring one side or rolling inward or outward through the feet. Keep those shoulders grounded down. They sometimes want to roll forward. And resting back into neutral. So bringing your right leg up. Take hold of the back of the thigh, but quite low, as low as you comfortably can, interlacing your hands there. And taking the leg long, but keep the knees slightly softened. And relax your upper body into the mat. As you exhale, push the heel up to ceiling or the sky as you push the back of the thigh against the hands. You're using the hands to resist that force out from the back of your leg and reach the heel high. So what you should be getting here is length all the way through the back of the leg. So it's a stretch, but there's also an element of strength applied to that stretch. Bending the knee to soften and lengthen. And bend to soften and lengthen. And bending the knee, bringing the foot back down to the mat. Coming over to the other side, taking hold of the back of your left thigh. Relax your upper body into the mat. Taking the leg long but keeping the knee soft. Taking a breath in, exhale, extending the heel to the ceiling, lengthening the back of the leg, push the thigh into the hands. Resist the force with the hands. And soften and bend. And lengthen. And soften and bend. And lengthen. And release, bringing the leg all the way down. Taking the legs long onto the mat, bringing the arms overhead, and we'll come up into a sequence of roll-ups with some variations. So we'll just do a full roll-up to start with. Now, if you're not quite there with the roll-ups yet, or you're size dominant, you might prefer to do an assisted roll-up where we bend at the knees and support the back of the legs that way. That is perfectly fine. But just remember, it's important to move and breathe together rather than holding your breath and then attempting to move. So as we take a long, deep breath in, we're arcing the arms, lifting the head, neck and shoulders. Exhale, push down through the back of the hips and sacrum, coming up into seated, sitting tall. Take a breath in and exhale, scoop the belly in, lengthening forward into the stretch. Take a breath in and exhale, stacking up into seated. And breathing in, exhale, rolling down. We're looking to establish a bit of flow here. Let's do a few reps. Reaching long when you're ready, breathing and moving. Coming up into seated, sitting tall. Breathing on the exhale, scooping the belly in, reaching forward and lying into the stretch. Breathing in and exhale, stacking up into seated. And one more cycle here. And when you're ready, coming up through the roll up, bringing yourself into seated. One more stretch forward, take a breath in and exhale, lengthen. Breathing in and then stacking back up into seated. And holding it here. So just adding a little variation. So this time we're going to do a single leg roll up. As we roll down, we're going to lengthen the left leg up. Take a breath in. So as you start to lower, tilting through the spine, start to float the left leg up as you ground down through the right heel and back of the leg. Try not to bring the mat with you like I have. And reaching long. And then coming up on the inhale, extend your leg away, back up into seated, sitting tall, and then we do the right, exhale to lower, and taking the arms overhead, and then coming up. Now we'll just do one more on each side. And last one, finishing on the right. Lowering the right leg and bringing your arms down to the side. So we're going to progress into we'll get to a teaser in a moment, and we'll actually come back up into seated one more time and breathing in, push the breath out and coming up right. My apologies, I missed an important step. So bringing your feet in and sitting tall, we're just going to a teaser prep. So coming into that balance on the sitting bones, arms are up to shoulder height, lifting up and in through the lower belly, floating your left leg up and follow with the right. So we're scooping the belly in, ground down through the back of the hips as you lengthen through the spine, shoulder blades back, chest open, and then lower the left and then the right. And back to the other side, right leg up, followed by the left. Nice and long and straight through the spine, right leg down and left. We'll do one more on each side. So the idea is you're using the lift through your lower abdominals to help that leg feel really light. Pushing down through the back of your sitting bones helps that, facilitate that as well. And back into seated. Coming into the roll down one more time, breathing in and exhale, rolling down. Keeping your arms overhead. And reaching long here. So progressing into our teaser, it's a fluid movement as you're breathing in. arcing the arms down to the side, and you'll start to lift the lower and upper body, and then push the breath out to come up into your V shape. When you're ready, starting to breathe in, circle the arms, lift the upper body and the feet, and then exhale, lifting through the legs, shoulder blades are back, floating the arms up, lengthening long through the spine. Take a breath in and exhale, lower. So we're lowering the legs and upper body as evenly as possible. It's easier said than done, especially when you're talking and doing it at the same time. Remember to keep breathing, also very important in this one. So it's a breath in as we start the first component of the first stage. Breath as you lift and push the breath out. Use that out breath to help zip up and in through the belly and float the legs up. So we're trying to create a sense of weightlessness or less weight into the legs, strong through the belly. And when you come into that V, pushing down through the sitting bones, lengthen up through the crown of the head. We're looking for a long, straight spine. And we'll go again. So when you're ready, breathing in, circling the arms down with the feet and the head. Breath out, coming up into teaser, draw the shoulder blades back, chest is open, tucking the belly in, ground down through the sitting bones. Breath in and exhale, lower. As evenly as possible. And then lengthening long here. Just going to have a little bit of a stretch through the flexors now, bringing the feet together and either taking hold of the back of the knees here as you take the knees wide, feet together and hang here. So you're putting pressure on the back of the thighs to open up the hips. Another way to do this is to hook your fingers on your thumbs and just hang out this way. It's a really enjoyable one for me to video. I hope you're enjoying the show. You might want to enjoy this in the privacy of your own home rather than out on the oval, or not, that's fine. Just getting a nice stretch through the back of the thighs, but also a release through the front of the hips. Taking a deep breath in, use the exhale just to relax your whole body into the stretch. And now bringing the feet together and taking the knees together, resting your fingertips under the knees, and we're just going to roll up into seated. Don't think too hard about it, use momentum if you need. Bringing your body up into seated, feet to the mat. Coming into rolling like a ball from here. And drawing the knees in nice and tight. Scooping the belly in and crossing the arms in front of you. So remember keeping the chin tucked in towards your chest, the gaze stays down. We're creating a round back. If you flatten out and lengthen through the spine, it's going to have a bit of a thud feeling as you roll back. So rocking back onto your sitting bones, finding a balance here. And when you're ready, it's a breath in to roll back, lift the hips, and breath out to come into the balance. Now remember when you roll back, it's just to the bottom of your shoulders. Ooh. No higher, because we want to protect the neck. Now this might be fine for some people, depending on how your hips feel, might prefer to come into an open knee roll. So in this case, you take the knees wide, feet together, thread your arms under the calves, bring the hands to the front, feet together and sit back on the sitting bones. So it's the same idea around spine, which means the chest stays down, gaze stays down. Breath in to roll back, lift the hips. Breath out to come up and balance. And one more. And bringing the feet down. If you're feeling game, nice and warmed up, progressing into an open leg rocker. So same idea here in terms of the balance and the breath flow. We're going with long straight legs. So if the legs aren't straight and knees bent, that's fine. It just depends on how long you are through the hammies there in particular. So we're going to extend one leg long and push the back of the calf into the hand, or if you're down lower behind the knee, that's fine. And finding the position back on the sitting bones, so you're grounding down there, and then bringing the other leg up. So pushing the hands, the feet or legs against the hands, tucking the chin in, rolling back on the breath in, rolling up on the breath out. And bringing your legs down, feet to the mat. Rolling forward now onto all fours. And lower your belly down to the mat. Taking your hands either side of your chest. Draw the shoulder blades in, nice and close to each other, arms close to the body. Hands aren't too far up to the shoulders. You need to have them resting around the middle of your trunk and in really close to the body. Relax the front of your legs and hips downward into the mat. Just coming up into a prone extension to start with. As you breathe in, floating the chest up, slide the shoulder blades towards each other and feel the gentle pressure of the front of your pubic bone and thighs down into the mat, and then rolling down, nose hovers to mat. And again, breath in to come up, just to that bottom rib, shoulder blades back, chest open, breath out, rolling down, one more. And holding it here, coming up into full swan. So as we come to that bottom rib, we push into the hands and lengthen the arms. And this is why it's important to have the hands further down. If they're up too high, you'll find it awkward to organise your shoulders at the top of the swan, and lowering down will be, your shoulders will feel around your ears. You want to keep the chest really open and keep drawing the shoulder blades in towards each other, arms close to your body. Take a breath in and exhale, lift. Holding at the top, shoulder blades together, neck nice and long, chin towards the back of the neck. Pelvis in, and we want a neutral pelvis here rather than hanging into the hips or rounding the back. Take a breath in, exhale, bending at the elbows, keep the shoulder blades towards each other, connect the pubic bone, rolling down through the spine, resting the nose above the mat. And we'll go again. Breath in at the top, exhale, coming down, and one more. And holding it here, resting your forehead to your hand, bending your left knee and draw the heel into the bottom. So feeling the stretch through the front of the quad here. To take this a bit further, as you breathe out, push the top of the foot into the hand, feel the thigh leave the mat, drawing the shoulder blade towards the spine. And releasing, thigh back to mat, coming over to the other side. So a bit of support here with the magic circle, TheraBand, or even a rolled up towel. If you find too awkward to reach back to the foot, so the last thing you want to do is be cramping through the shoulders to get the foot. You want to keep the nice length and alignment. So you can always put the towel around your ankle, hold on to it and pull the leg forward that way. So if your practice allows it, bending both knees, taking both feet. Drawing the shoulder blades together. Take a breath in, exhale, push the feet into the hands, shoulder blades towards the spine. Let the head just float up here. Breath in and lower. Release the feet, hands to chest, breath in and exhale, pushing back and into child's pose. And remember, if you're prone to cramp through the calves, you can always keep the toes curled under. Flattening through the top of the foot can aggravate a cramp. So just go into that position, toes to nose. Walking the hands over to the right, reach the arms away as you sink the hips down towards the heels, relax the head at the same time. And walking hands over to the left, reaching away from your body, anchor the hips to heels, relax the head. And walking the hands back to centre, reaching long. We're going to push forward into quadruped. Take a breath in and exhale, bringing your body forward. Stepping out, we're bringing the hands forward, towards the top end of the mat, curling the toes under. Once more, sinking the hips to heels, coming into a rolling plank. Taking a breath in. On the exhale, pushing from the pads of your toes and feet, bring the body forward, chest is over arms. Push the ground away with your hands lengthening into a plank. Watch those hips, knees down, hips to heels. So we'll get a little bit of momentum going here. Take a breath in, exhale forward. Inhale, knees down, hips to heels. Exhale forward, knees down, hips to heels. And we've got two more. And last one. And reaching long. Coming up onto all fours and coming into a deep lunge here, bringing your right foot forward and flattening through the front of your left lower limb. Taking your hand to the knee, ground down through the heel here, spread the toes wide, bringing your body up and then sinking forward into that lunge. So just being mindful that we're not bringing the knee too far over the toes there, working on that opening through the front of the leg and standing tall or kneeling tall. So we're going to drop the right arm to the side and arc the left arm up and over, lengthening away. So you have to really push down through the parts of your body in touch with the mat here to help balance. And then back. Curling your left toes under and then sink your hips down to the heel. We're getting a stretch through the back of the limb there. And then coming forward, placing your hands to the mat, taking the right knee back, bringing the left knee forward, grounding down through the foot, taking the left hand to the thigh. Remember, pushing down evenly, bring your body up. Ground down also through the front of the right limb, and deeply lunging forward. Remember, as you push down through the left foot and the right lower limb, this will help stabilise you. Drop your left hand to the side, arc your right arm up and over, lengthening long. And then coming up, curling your right toes under, sinking the hips to heels and extending through the back of the left leg. Taking a breath in, exhale, bringing yourself forward, take that left leg back. We're going to come into a hip stretch and glute stretch by downward dog. Plugging your fingertips into the mat, curling the toes under. I'm going to start with the left side, just to forewarn you. Take a breath in. Exhale, lifting the hips to ceiling. Let the head hang in between your arms, looking out behind you, reaching long through the arms here. Lift the hips to the ceiling, sink the heels to the floor. Bringing your feet to the centre of the mat. Now lift the heels to roll onto the pads of the feet. Keep the neck nice and soft, head just hanging. You should be able to shake it around. Lengthen the left leg away, sink the right heel down, bend the left knee and turn to face the left side. So the left leg's just hanging open there for a stretch. Keep reaching the arms up and away from the mat to give you lift through your upper body so you're not sinking into the joints. Turning to front on now, swinging the left knee forward, resting it in between your hands and sink the hips down. Reach the foot away just to create length through that right hip now. And you should be getting a stretch through the back of the left thigh. Now bringing your body forward and resting to the mat. I want to allow the upper body to relax here. So if you can't bring your forehead to the mat and you feel like you're lifting through the neck, stack your fists here and allow your forehead just to relax. So you don't want the strain of the shoulders and neck to take away the beautiful stretch through the hip and the thigh. One more breath in, long breath out, just give into the stretch, melting into the mat. You come out, place your hands either side of that left knee, like the fingertips in. So we're going to take this left leg behind as we come up into downward dog. So curling your right foot under, push the ground away as you lift the hips high and take the left foot back. And then reaching long once more through downward dog. Hips to ceiling, heels to floor. Push the ground away with your arms here, create length. Bring the feet to the centre of the mat. Breath in, lifting the heels, and extend the right leg behind, sink the left heel down, bend the knee and opening out. Reaching up through the arms, think of the hip lifting up and away from the mat, as well as your waist. Turning to face forward, swing the right leg forward, placing it in between the hands. Square up through the hips here, reach that left leg away, creating opening here, and then folding forward. Slowing down the breath now. Long breath into the nose. Slowly release the breath out and let your body melt into the stretch. Just let it go. Taking your hands on the side of your knee, curl the left feet under, toes under. Push the ground away as you lift the hips up, slide the right leg back. Reach long one more time. I'm going to walk the feet forward to the hands, scoop the belly in. Keep the knees a bit soft, and then just let your body hang heavy forward. Gently press the heels down to the floor, spread your toes wide, and then plug the toes into the mat. Take a deep breath in, and slowly exhale as you start to come up. Working from the soles of the feet, to the backs of the legs. As you tilt your pelvis, place on top of your legs, keeping the tummy drawn in. Start stacking each vertebra of the spine as you get to your chest. Draw your shoulder blades towards each other to really open through the front of the body. Lastly, stacking your neck and head, reaching right up through to the crown. Taking one long breath in as you lengthen through the neck, chin to chest. Chin to ceiling. And exhale, rolling down through the neck, chin to chest. Just let these arms hang really heavy at your side here. Inhale, lengthening up through the neck. And exhale, rolling down. And one more in this direction. And then bringing your head to centre. So we're looking over our right shoulder now, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Bringing the head back to centre. And over to the left. And back to centre. 2 more in each direction. Now I'm recording this at home and I'll do my best to edit. But you may notice some singing in the background. It's my Will while he's vacuuming, putting the headphones on and going for it. It's never boring in our house. Bringing the head back to centre. So taking the right ear to right shoulder, reaching the left arm down and away towards the floor. Gently put some pressure on the outside of the head to draw the right ear closer to the shoulder. By reaching this arm down, you get the extra length through the side of the neck. Now, just to deepen that stretch, I'm going to direct the chin very subtly towards the chest, and that way you start to feel it deeper through the back of the neck and into the top of the shoulders. Just keep that left arm nice and heavy hanging towards the floor. And release the head, bringing back to centre. Relaxing your right arm down to the side, bringing the left ear to left shoulder. Putting light pressure on the outside of the head. And now direct the chin towards the chest. And releasing the head and coming back to centre. Taking a breath in, arms overhead, interlacing the fingers, exhale, push the palms away. Breathing in, reaching over to the right, lengthening long, lock down through that left heel as you reach the hands to the right side. And breath in, coming upright. And breath out over to the left, looking down the right heel. And reaching long. Release the fingers, bring the arms down, heavy to your side. One last long breath in through the nose, roll the shoulders. And pause, change directions, slowly release your exhale. And you're done. Thank you for having a go.